hello Safe Harbor families and anyone else who has been joining us. This is video number 5 out of 7 for our Safe Harbor at Home series, and welcome. Today we are going to make a drum, and we're going to learn how we can use that drum to better deal with our worries and our fears. So let's just start off with making a drum. So one thing we can do that's real easy is if you have an empty tub like this, maybe you got some caramel corn down the shore, okay, you already have a drum. It's all ready to go. Okay, that's easy. Or maybe you have a big container like this, you've got some snacks in. That's a perfect size for a drum also. If it doesn't have a lid that sounds like a drum, this is what you would use, just some tape across the top. Okay, it just goes all the way across the top. Or this kind of tape works as well. And then you cover the top. Now, when your entire top is covered, whether it's with a plastic lid or the tape, it's not quite going to sound like a drum until you equalize the air pressure inside. And the way to do that is to cut out a little hole, and of course, we'll need some grown-ups to help with that for our younger viewers. Here's one that I made already. So you see I have a little window cut out on that side, and I have another little window cut out on this side. Okay, and what I've done is I put clear tape across the top. I went straight this way, then straight this way. Then I went in a star pattern, okay, until everything was covered and there were no holes showing. And so now I have a drum. It's a little bit more high-pitched because it's smaller, but it works. Okay, there's another reason for these little slits that I'll tell you in a minute. All right, so drums. Why drums for worries and fears? Well, they have a long history since the beginning of time, as you know. And it started out over long distance between hunters and gatherers communicating, between tribal villages communicating, and then they got really more complex with different sized drums and different tones. And then they had one called a talking drum, which they could change the pitch to sound like speech. They got really intricate. They also use the drums sometimes to communicate with the spiritual world. So if it wasn't raining and their crops were going to dust, well, you've heard of the rain dance, so they would have a special drumming for that. Or maybe they just wanted to do a special ritual. Remembering that person, they might have a special rhythm for a joyful celebration, and they might have an entirely different rhythm for saying goodbye. We're going to come up with a rhythm for strength, because another way drums were used were kings back in the day used drums to represent their power and their strength in times of war when they needed to be strong, and they needed to gather the troops and get them pumped up and feeling strong. And that's what I want you to do with your drum, is pump yourself up and feel strong. All right, so what does that have to do with your worries and fears? Well, the other reason for this little hole in the side of the drum is that you can write down a worry. You know, don't overwhelm yourself. You might want to do just one first, not too many, so not a long list of all your fears. But let's pick one that we want to work on and write down that fear or that worry. Okay. All right, very simple. Fold it up. You can use whatever nice paper you want. Put it inside your drum. See that? It's going right inside my drum, my talking drum. And then I want you to think about what's a powerful sentence you can say to yourself, whether you believe it or not. Like, I'm stronger than you. You're talking to your fear. You're talking to your worry. You can't stop me. You know, whatever that rhythm is for you, I want you to create it in the drum. And I'm going to do the I am stronger than you rhythm. So I'm going to go, I'm stronger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm stronger than you. And as I do that, I want to feel myself getting stronger and stronger and actually starting to believe that I am strong. And how do I know I'm strong? Because after I drum all that fear energy into my drum, I'm left with strength, and I can say, all right, what's one thing I can do to help move forward, like past this fear that I'm having? What's one thing I can do? And maybe it's just a matter of saying it out loud to somebody. Maybe you want to use this to communicate with your loved one, and you want to draw some strength from them to get you through whatever new fear or worry you have. I mean, anybody who has lost a loved one or any person in their family knows that those anxieties and fears and worries, they're extra strong after you lose somebody, right? They're really scary sometimes, and they feel really heavy sometimes. So maybe you want to use that person to give you some strength, just like they did in the old ceremonies and rituals. And then you can write a note to that person and put it in the drum, whatever help you want from them. Okay, so that's 2 ways you can use your drum. So obviously you can decorate your drum however you want. You can even put decorations on top, on the drum head, however you want to decorate it. This is your power drum, your strength drum, and it's going to help you feel stronger than your fears and your worries. So put that energy in the drum, and remember, what's one thing, one action you can take to help overcome your fear? All right, good luck with that, and please see the link below for the history of drums if you're interested. All right, take care. Bye.